All right, let's talk about something that can feel, well, a little intimidating. Indian income tax. We're going to cut right through all the confusing stuff and break it down to the basics. So if you've ever felt lost in the jargon, you're in the right place. We're starting from square one.
So, you've probably heard these words thrown around, right? Direct tax, assessment year, assessee. What does that even mean? It almost sounds like a secret code. But stick with me, because by the end of this, it's all going to make perfect sense. Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first. Before we get into the weeds, we have to start with the foundation. So, what is income tax when you boil it all down? So, at its simplest, it's a tax the central government collects. But here's the really important part. It's on your net income. That means they don't tax every single rupee you make. Nope, it's a tax on what's left over after you've taken out certain deductions. That's the key.
And this brings us to a super important idea. Income tax is what we call a direct tax. It's exactly what it sounds like. The person who earns the income is the one who pays the tax directly to the government. You earn it, you pay it. Simple as that. No middleman.
Now, this whole system isn't just made up on the fly. It's all built on a solid legal framework. The big one is the Income Tax Act of 1961. And inside that act, you've got specific sections that lay out the rules, like Section 4, which says tax is charged, and Section 5, which defines what income counts. The actual tax rates, those get updated every year in the Finance Act.
All right, so we know what it is, but the next big question is, when does all this happen? This is where we get into the tax calendar, and honestly, this is where a lot of people get tripped up, so let's clear it up.
The whole tax cycle really boils down to two key years. You've got the previous year, that's the financial year when you're out there earning the money. Then, right after that, you have the assessment year. That's when the income you just earned gets looked at or assessed, and the tax is calculated.
You know, a really easy way to think about this is like a yearly report card for your money. The previous year is you doing all the work, earning your income. And the assessment year, that's when the report card comes out. It shows the results of all your hard work, which in this case is how much tax you owe.
So the cycle is super straightforward, really. Step 1, you earn income during the previous year. Step 2, that income gets assessed and taxed in the assessment year. It's a simple, predictable 1-2 punch every time.
Okay, let's make this real. If you earn income anytime between April 1st, 2024 and March 31st of 2025, that's the financial year 2024-25. So when is it taxed? In the next year. The assessment year for that income would be 2025-26. See how that works?
All right, we've got the what and the when down. So who's actually involved in all this? Let's talk about the who in this whole equation.
So, in the official language of the tax world, the main person is called the assessee. Sounds complicated, right? But it's just the legal term for anyone, a person, a company, whoever, that has to pay tax.
Let's just cut through the legal speak. What does it really mean? It means you. If you're earning taxable income, then you, my friend, are the assee. It's really just a fancy word for taxpayer.
Okay, so we've got the what, the when, and the who. The last piece of the puzzle for today is what actually gets taxed? What are the rules here?
This is a big one. A huge factor that decides what income gets taxed is something called your residential status. And I gotta be clear about this. It has nothing to do with your citizenship or your passport. It's all about how much time you physically spend in India during a financial year.
And believe me, this distinction makes a massive difference. If you're a resident and ordinarily resident, then your global income is on the table for Indian tax. I mean, income you earned anywhere in the world. But if you're a non-resident, it's a different story. You're generally only taxed on the income you earn or receive right here in India.
Now, of course, there are always some exceptions to the rules, and a really big one you should know about is agricultural income. For the most part, if you earn income from agriculture in India, it's exempt from income tax. That's a pretty major exception, right? So let's do a quick recap of what we've covered. We've got the what, it's a direct tax. The when, that whole cycle of the previous year and assessment year. The who, that's you, the SSE. And finally, the scope of what gets taxed, which all comes down to your residential status. That, right there, is the basic framework.
But, this is really just the beginning. We've set the stage. Knowing the framework is one thing, but how does the tax department actually count your income? I'm talking about things like your salary, income from a business, or maybe capital gains. How do they all fit in? Well, that's the next big question we're going to tackle.